Here you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
I just wish you could all see the Earth the way that I see it. Because when you really look at it, it's just one world.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. In my world, it means hope.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our run of Absolute Superman number 5 from 2025. We've got all the variant covers here as well. Here's the regular cover. I like this series. I think it's really good, and I'm a huge fan of Jason Aaron. I think people that want to hate on his Thor run, great cover by Sean and Gordon Murphy. People that want to hate on his Thor run are just haters. He had a story, he told the story, and when he left, he put Thor back together again. So, I don't know. I think he gets a bad rap, and he writes more good stuff than bad stuff. So, some people just like to hate. I think he's very talented, and I really enjoy this story here. So, we're going to go back and forth between what's going on now and what happened. So, Krypton, 6 years ago, we've got Jor-El here, and this is narrated here by Superman. Those days after the story broke were difficult ones, and you can see having a fight here. And Jor-El is like, "Run, Cal, get to the truck." Violent Ones continues narrating. After my entire family was sentenced to death by the Science League, Law Guild shock troops raided our home. And so you can see the parents fighting them, forcing us to fight our way to safety. And that guy's like, "Stop right there in the name of." But there was no safe place left on Krypton. Not for us, not for anyone. Real quick, I like how similar to Earth, Jason Aaron made Krypton. Krypton's always been portrayed as this sci-fi perfect utopian where, everything's good, everything's great, and we all know that that's a crock. And so Jason Aaron really puts humanity into Krypton. John Byrne had Krypton so sterile. And I like it like this because that is how intelligent beings behave. Greedy, and human beings will never achieve that utopia. That ultra, utopia where everything's kumbaya and nobody wants for anything and everything's provided. That'll never happen, people. It's never happened before, and it will never happen. You may have a community here or there. You may have a small section where it's like that, but you will never have it for the whole planet. It will never happen. It just won't. So, not even in a million years. So, and so here we get this nice double page spread as the elves are trying to go through everything here. And so they finally get to where they're going. So when they took off, they're like, "Where are we going? Anywhere but here." So they get here, and maybe I can reconfigure the Starlight engines one more time. And Lara continues, "Make enough room to squeeze another person on board, maybe two. I need." And Jor-El says, "Lara, you said it yourself. There's nothing more you can do without compromising the ship's integrity." And Lara says, "But there's so many people still out there, Jor. More cousins and neighbors. The Fool family down the street. Oh, sorry, the Duo family down the street. The Gelks who had us over for dinner that time. Old Man Tur, the one who always smiles and waves. And Jor-El says the dark reality. Lara, we can't save everyone. There just isn't time. And then looks at the people here and he says, this will have to be enough. Ugh, it's very sad, but it is so true. Now I'm gonna I want to make a point on the art, but I need to make it a little bigger. Some of you know what I'm gonna point at, and I'm gonna tell you that I hate this, and artists need to clean it up. When you fill in the black digitally, and this is just a setting that can be fixed, but these lines here, that looks terrible. The colorist should have fixed it. Someone should have fixed it. This is just dropping blacks. You can see it here. You can see it here. They're dropping blacks and leaving these lines there, and I'm just not a fan. There's a setting that can be used to be fixed, and these artists just aren't doing it. And for as much as a comic book cost, I find this to be I don't know, annoying, and I hate it. I hate it. You can see it here. You can see it here. You can see it on the hair. You can see it here. This guy almost looks like he's got a beard, and you can see it here. This is all supposed to be solid black, but they do the fill, and then they don't bother fixing it. They don't bother changing the settings, and I think it's unprofessional. He's not the only one. He's extremely talented. I like him. I like his art. But damn it, it is a huge pet peeve of mine. I draw digitally. I do not do this, and I am a nobody, and even I don't do this. So these guys are paid. They're not paid as well as they used to, unfortunately. But for God's sakes, have some pride in your art and fix these things. So, all right, I'm done. And so Jor-El continues, it will have to be enough. And Cal continues, rage swelled within me as I watched my parents weep. And I remember swearing to myself that whatever world we found our way to next we would make better than this one, no matter what it took. And so you can see Krypton exploding here, kind of this kryptonite lava. And so now we're on Earth, and so it says here, Pakistan Peacemaker Outpost. And so Superman is coming. Remember, that guy killed all those people here. And so they're trying to prevent Cal from coming through, but Cal is not being deterred here. And so we've got these peacemakers here. Tank Division, report your status. Over. Tank Division, do you copy? And you see a scream. And Cal says, there are 23 people dead in Orangi Town. Gunned down for the unforgivable crime of laughing at a man with a gun. And this guy's like, get back, be ready to fire. As soon as you see his, and you can see Superman's melting this, and boom, he goes through here. This guy screams, and Superman says, no one is laughing now. Oh, my goodness gracious. This guy draws a little bit like Lionel Francis Yu, who I also like, kind of that little grittiness from the late 90s, early 2000s. He isn't here. Where is he, Sol? Says Superman. And Sol says, accessing Lazarus' database, Cal. Once again, I strongly advise against this. And Superman says, find him. And Sol says, the Lazarus Corps cyber defenses are of a sophistication beyond this planet's natural capabilities. Peacemaker Smith's whereabouts are heavily encrypted. And Superman says, Christopher Smith, he murdered 23 innocent people. Where is Lazarus hiding him, says Superman. Where is he? And this guy's like screaming here, I don't know. And Superman continues here. Rage floods my guts like the lava that swallowed the Redlands. I am the fury of billions. And the guy's like, please. And Superman continues here. Cloaked in red ashes of Krypton, the power of the sun exploding through my veins. My entire world died screaming while I was helpless to stop it. But I'm not helpless anymore. And this guy's like, please don't kill me. A younger Superman, a more grown-up Superman, an angrier Superman. And I think that's the part that most people don't like, is that Superman is supposed to be the hope. And the Absolute Universe, all 3 titles, are pretty dark. Gotham is incredibly dark, but Gotham always has been. But now Superman is in this very hopeless type of world. Wonder Woman is in a demonic world. So the Absolute Universe is very dark indeed. So that could be a problem, that a lot of people like their superheroes to be a little bit brighter, particularly with Superman. I totally get that, but we still have Superman. This is absolute Superman. Just enjoy the story. I keep saying that as we continue going through this. I just tell people, just enjoy the story. It's okay. This doesn't take away from regular Superman. Just read regular Superman as well. So, and Sol continues here. Sal, I'm close to unraveling the encryption while also fending off a series of counterattacks here. And so I like the brushwork. I think he uses some really nice digital brushes, because you can tell that this is digital here, because you can see those outlines again. So, and Soul continues. Someone called Brainiac is attempting to infiltrate my system. And Cal says, so. And Superman, or sorry, Soul says, I found him. And Superman says, Smith? And Soul says, Brainiac. He's at a research and development facility in the Nevada desert. The room is filled with miniaturized alien cities stored in bottles. Cal, there are people inside them, people who won't stop screaming. And so you can see Superman punching through this wall and walking out. Brainiac wants to speak with you. He is offering Smith's whereabouts. We can find him at, and then he takes off. You see this whoosh, and this continues through to it. And so now we're back at Krypton, and Lara's going, all right, everybody, on board now. We can't wait any longer. And so the people are putting on that costume thing. Let the ship bond with you and become your spacesuit. Every part of the vessel is a whole in and of itself. So we'll all be safe once we take off. And then she's like, Kal-El. Yeah, Crypto, I know, buddy. I'm just saying goodbye. So what do you think the next planet will be like as Krypton is ready to explode here? And it opens up. And Cal continues here. I like to think there were tender moments happening elsewhere in Krypton that day. And the parents are screaming here. And Lara's like, he went over the edge, Jor. He hasn't bonded with the ship yet. If he falls. And so, loved one who chose to spend their final hours in each other's arm. Those who waded into the chaos to treat the wounded, or to call for peace, or even as flames rose around them. Cal, hold on, we'll pull you up. I like to think in those final hours there were Kryptonians somewhere out there who were fighting to help each other. And you can see the panic look here. And it wasn't just one boy being saved by his dog. Crypto, good dog, says Cal as Crypto grabs him. I like to think this, and some days I really do enjoy the addition of Krypton in this series. Crypto. I almost believe it. So here we are in Kandor. The people are fighting. They're telling them to go back and to kill them, but the people are continuing. And so Superman continues here. The clerics conspired for months to build enough ships to evacuate the Kryptonian elite from the dying planet as these people fall. What could Krypton have accomplished in that time if the guild had allowed themselves to work together? More people would have been saved, no doubt. Maybe not all, but as it was, and this part's going to be really tragic here, not a single ship managed to take off that day as they all start to blow up and hit. So, not from the cities at least. And so you can see Jor-El and Lara's ship here. On board our ship, people were crying. Everyone was frightened. But the strangest thing happened to me. Once we took flight, I felt profound calmness come over me. And so off they go here, and this kid's watching outside. A confidence I had never known. And he says, hey. And Superman says, don't be scared. This is a great ship, the best ship that's ever flown. My mom and dad built it. And he says, I felt hope. I think I even smiled. Oh, people, get ready, because after all, here comes here's the thing. So the planet's exploding. So why are asteroids coming if the ship's falling? Unless stuff is falling as it's falling back down. But it almost looks like an asteroid. And the ship is going up, so it really shouldn't be hit, but I understand for story purposes. And I was going to comment here the nice little dry brush technique here. So and then with the speed of a bullet fired from a gun the size of a planet, that hope was torn asunder as it hits and goes right through the planet or the ship. And look at this, these poor people. So those few people that were saved now are also dying. And Superman screams here, don't be afraid, Kal-El. I am Sol, your exploratory spacesuit. I will protect you. And that woman holding that baby. And so they all say, I will protect you, I will protect you. So that's everybody's suit. So all these ships are going off. And he's like, Krypto, Mom and Dad, where are you? Are you okay? So Krypto and Kal are together here. But some of them are, are being hit. And we're here, Kal. And we're with you, son, always. And for 10 billion years, the planet Krypton basked in the blistering red light of its sun. Toward the end of its existence, the planet had become riddled with parasites. Tiny creatures infested Krypton's star-hardened skin, eviscerating the world one handful of guts at a time. Until the insides became unstable. Its blackened lungs wheezed and gushed radioactive bile. 10 billion years my home world stubbornly endured. It only took a few million years for people to ruin it all. By the way, that's the parasites that Jason Aaron was referring to here, as we see all these things just exploding. And look at this as Krypton explodes. And the ships are trying to get out. Look at poor Kal-El. And as the planet explodes, he makes it. At least that's what we're led to believe. I don't quite believe that he's the only one. And I wholeheartedly believe that eventually one or both of the parents will show up. I'm pretty sure. So and Kal-El is like, Mom, Dad, and he screams for them. He's like, can anyone hear me, as he begins to cry. Anyone, as the ship continue moving through here. So, all right, back on Earth here. And so Superman lands here, and Sol says, Kal, I don't understand. As I told you, I was close to uncovering the location of. And Superman says, forget Smith. I don't want to know where he's hiding, because if I know, I'm afraid. Afraid of Lazarus, says Sol. Given what I've learned about Brainiac, I can promise you this fear is warranted. And Superman says, no. If I get my hands on Smith, I'm afraid of what I might do to him. And look at his eyes. So Krypton was 6 years in the past. And he was, would you say he's about 12 13 maybe. So he would be 18 or 19 years old. So this is a very young Superman here. Right now I just need to be left alone. This is a weird cape. I think the cape is part of Soul here. And mostly I need to be reminded Soul. And he says, Soul says, reminded of what, Kal-El? And he says, look at this, Smallville, Kansas, 10 miles ahead. Ad Astra per Aspera of home. Oh, so he is from Smallville. And so next, welcome to Smallville. And I like this. It's so different. So, and then of course we get our credits here with Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval. So the absolute Superman. I like it. I like it, folks. So sue me. Absolute Superman number 5. Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval. I hope you're enjoying this story. I am. I like it. I just enjoy it as a story. I don't read too much into it. I think Jason Aaron is a good writer. Don't be a hater. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.